Hi guys, it's RBB. I am so excited. I know that sounds really dorky, but I'm so excited to show you this tool that's going to just game changer, make your life easier. And that is the adjustment brush tool. Now I made a probably 15-minute video the other day about how to add adjustment layers, how to work non-destructively, how to choose objects, link objects, and all that kind of good stuff. And apparently that's the way we used to do it when we had to walk uphill to school in the snow, 5 miles both ways. But this adjustment brush is going to make our lives so much easier. Now this was beta this was beta tested, I think, starting in February and became like an official part of Photoshop in May. So if you haven't seen it before, it's relatively new. So let's look at what this does. It's so cool. All right, so we've worked with this image before. I found it in Pexels. It's copyright free. That's great. And then I went ahead and duplicated the background so that I'm working non-destructively. Now let's look and see what this magic can do. Now, in the other video, we talked about how to select certain objects, how to add adjustment layers, all kinds of stuff that took a bunch of clicks. Now we're just going to click on this adjustment brush tool, which looks like a paintbrush with the adjustment icon. Okay, when we select that, we have a couple things show up. Of course, we have our controls at the top, and then we have this context bar. Right now, my adjustment is set to exposure, and I'm adding to my selection, and I have a 14 pixel brush that's pretty small. Let's bump it up to about 100 or so. Okay, and I'm at 100% opacity. And sure enough, down here in my context bar, I'm set to exposure. So what I can do is if I select this whole image, so if I just like marquee select this whole image, and I say use this adjustment brush right here, and I just click on this layer, boop, it automatically throws the exposure adjustment layer in its own layer, working non-destructively. And it went ahead and like made a setting for me. Okay, maybe I don't like it, but I can adjust that and it's going to affect the whole layer. Okay, because we don't have anything in particular selected. It's affecting the whole layer. Okay, so maybe I like that, maybe I don't. Let's lower the exposure a little bit. I don't know. There we go. All right, I'm going to throw this one away and show you another. Let's say we want to just change the car like we worked on the other day. Super easy. I'm going to change to hue and saturation because we're going to change the color of the car. Okay, make sure I'm on my right layer because that's a really common mistake. And in this case, I'm going to say apply to object. Now that looks like the object selection tool, which is basically what's going on under the hood. I haven't changed tools, but I am going to apply it to an object. So all I have to do is click on an object and Photoshop's going to guess. See, like right there, it's saying, hey, is this what you want? If I click, all I did is left click. Okay, it selected that car and created the alpha mask for this hue and saturation layer. OMG, that is so cool. That skipped like 5 steps. It's on its own layer, so it's non-destructive. We can change the hue and saturation, and it's going to change the hue of the car, right? So we can change it to a different color. We can lower the saturation. Okay, let's make it some other color. Let's make it, I don't know, blue. Okay, so that's already pretty cool and saved us a ton of time. At the bottom of the adjustment layers, we have that link button. In the adjustment layer I showed you, and this is something that for whatever reason confuses a lot of my students. I told you had to hover between them and hold Alt to get that little icon to show up. Now it's a button right there. I can simply link it to the, if I click that, it's going to link to the layer below it. Click it again to unlink it. I can see its previous state, okay? Just for a second, and I can also reset to the default values. I can turn it on and off, and I can throw it away. Great. All those things are also here, but right there at the bottom of that adjustment layer. So awesome, that's cool. Let's say that I turn this blue like I wanted to, but I'm pretty sure that purple lights are probably not street legal. So let's see what this brush tool can do. I can come back up here to minus, right? Take away from the selection. I'm going to Control plus and zoom in a little bit. Now I can paint on this area and say, hey, let's turn this back to its normal color so we don't get a ticket. All right. Now, if I was really doing this for a project, I would be more careful and take a little more time, but I want to keep this short. So I'm going to be like, no, not those. Those amber lights are supposed to stay yellow. These are turn signals. They should be orange. Okay. They certainly shouldn't be blue. This is supposed to be red. Okay, all the things are sort of a dead Photoshop giveaway. And whatever country this is or county or whatever is probably not thrilled I'm changing their colors. There's some other things I could clean up too, like these rear view mirrors are a little funny colored. Okay, I can take away from a selection. Now when I change the color of the car, it's going to change the car, but not those elements that I said, hey, don't include these. Now you might see that there's a little bit of an actually an underspill, kind of. I'm missing a little chunk right here. I can fix that. I'll go to add to the selection. I'm going to make my brush smaller, and I can change to a different brush, different size, different type of brush. Okay, and I'm going to say, you know what, add to this selection. And I painted over that sort of red halo a little bit. Anywhere that there's a piece missing, like up here, I can say add to that. Add, fix this edge over here so there's not some red pixels, which again is sort of bad Photoshop. So here where I erased too much, let's put that back. I'm going to say, take that away from the, other way, boop. Put that back, okay, put that back to blue, include that in the mask. So we can so easily take away and put back areas of this mask without having to change tools. And remember, you have only so many clicks, then you die. So if we can do all of this with one tool and work non-destructively and make it as easy as using a paintbrush, dude, it's a game changer. All right, last thing I want to show you is if you want to add another adjustment to this, do not change it down here in the context bar. If I change it here in the context bar, it's going to change this one I already did. So if I change it to black and white, it's going to change this one to black and white. If I want a second or third or fourth adjustment layer, I either need to click Add New Adjustment here, or if I choose it from up here in the control panel and choose something like Exposure, it's going to create another layer all by itself without changing tools, without having to click down here. It's going to make a whole new layer with a new adjustment guy right there, and that one will be Exposure. So I'm telling you, this tool is a game changer. It saves us so much. I still want you to go back and look at the adjustment layer video so you understand what's going on under the hood. But yeah, dude, the adjustment brush, love it. All right, you guys, holler if there's anything I can teach you or show you. Let me know if there's a tool you want me to cover, and you guys have a fantastic day. Be well.